Carton Show with Big Mac. And obviously today is a very, very special day, January 15th. You're going to tell your children where you were the day you found out that the New York Giants were still the worst team in the NFC East. I'm sorry, at the day the New York Giants got the coach of their dreams.
Yeah, bring it on. I don't care.
The guy to take you out of the abyss you've been in. Phone number to join, as always, 888-808-1019. And I know the answer to this question, but good afternoon. How are you today, Big Mac?
I'm doing great, Craig.
Yeah, you are.
I am doing so great. This is listen, all jokes aside, it's a tremendous day.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not going to be a party pooper, but we're not going to also blow smoke up people's asses for no reason. So let's compartmentalize the conversation.
Okay.
Let's start with all the really good stuff. The New York Giants were the best option. The New York Giants made it very clear very early. As soon as John Harbaugh got fired by the Baltimore Ravens, they wanted to be in the John Harbaugh business. They broke out every stop. I thought there was a point where they actually started to embarrass themselves the way the Knicks did with LeBron. But if that's what it took to get John Harbaugh, allow me to apologize to all Giants fans. Whatever it takes to get it done, you got it done. Congratulations for getting it done. You now have a legitimate, competent, winning head coach. And it looks like Todd Monken is coming with him as offensive coordinator. That's probably another conversation for later in the show. But congratulations. The New York Giants flexed their New York Giants muscles, whether that's history, whether that's Tom Coughlin, whether that's Super Bowls, whether that's New Jersey, New York, whatever it took. The New York Giants found their guy and got their guy.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to us, the Giant fans. Congratulations to John Mara. I really do feel good for John Mara, the rest of the ownership group. I honestly believe there's not another owner in sports who cares more about the fan base.
Oh, stop.
I honestly believe that. No.
Come on.
He's just been inept.
Now you're doing what I asked you not to do.
That's not blowing smoke.
He doesn't love the Giants more than every other owner in sports happens to love their teams.
Absolutely does.
That's where you get crazy.
He cares very much about this fan base.
Most owners do.
No, I think he cares more than most.
He cares so much you've had the worst team in football for a decade.
He's been inept at his job.
So don't tell me he cares more than anybody else.
He's just been bad at it. I feel good for him because today's his day.
Stop it.
What do you mean stop it?
Feel good for you.
Thank him. No, I feel good for me.
Yeah.
I want to thank him. I want to thank all of the entire Giant ownership. They went out from the jump and risked embarrassing themselves because we all agreed that's what would have happened if he chose somewhere else. But they made a point. They went out and made sure they got their guy. And they brought stability back to the organization because it's not about what you're about to get into next. I already see the wheels going. I know where we're going next. It's not necessarily about bringing a championship within the next year or two.
Correct.
This is about no longer being the dregs of the NFL. This is about no longer being a rudderless ship, not knowing what direction we're going in, what's next. They went out and got the guy who is going to lead this franchise. And I give credit to everyone inside the organization. I am happy for John Mara.
I don't know why you'd be happy for John Mara.
Well, obviously, everything he's going through personally.
Yes, of course. We're sensitive to that.
Of course. I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying, but my point is, he has made every wrong decision over the last 12 years.
Correct.
Every single decision, every hire has been the wrong one. And now he finally went out, recognized this was the moment to go and stuck with Joe Schoen. As much as I screamed to the high heavens along with most other Giant fans that Joe Schoen needed to go. And the biggest reason why is I had a real fear that a legitimate head coach would not want to come here and work with a GM with this many losses, or work with a GM that's kind of failed here with this organization. But he built the organization up to a point, all the losses aside, he built the organization up to a point where they were the best job. And immediately, Giants recognized that. They assigned the coaching search to him, and he went out and got the best head coach this organization has had since Tom Coughlin, the best head coach that has arguably hit the market in the last 10 years, without, since Andy Reid.
He's up there.
He's up there. I mean, others have been just as successful or more, but at the time of the time of the hiring, we didn't know how successful they were going to be. But, this is the moment where the Giants organization said enough is enough, and we're going to make sure we do this right. And for that, I could not be happier. This is as excited as I've been as a Giant fan forever.
Today's a great day for Giant fans. Last night was a great night for Giants fans. You have to compliment Joe Schoen.
Absolutely.
Joe Schoen put his ego aside and also recognized, I got a choice to make. If I'm going to try to be cocky here and say that I'm not going, you're going to go. if you say to the ownership group, hey, listen, I'll do everything I can to get you John Harbaugh, give me a chance to do it, which is a very smart play career-wise, for your own safety and well-being as the general manager, Joe Schoen gets credit. Joe Schoen also, although Brian Dable gets more credit for it, got Jaxson Dart, and Jaxson Dart is the pivotal guy here. John Harbaugh did not take this job because of the Maurer family's legacy.
Right.
John Harbaugh did not take this job because you have Cam Scattaboo. John Harbaugh did not take this job because you have, Brian Burns, who's a great player.
Malik Neighbors.
He took this job because you have a quarterback, period, stop, which is why all the nonsense about, it's not important for him to sit and talk to Jaxson Dart. I saw one of the insiders literally 10 minutes ago, and I apologize for forgetting which guy it was because they deserve credit for breaking the story. They sat one-on-one for 2 hours yesterday.
Wow.
Jaxson Dart and John Harbaugh. It was just on Twitter. I saw it literally 5 minutes ago. Jaxson Dart and John Harbaugh apparently spent 2 hours alone one-on-one, which goes right up to what you were talking about. I know Boomer and Gio were giving you crap for it this morning and yesterday, but don't tell me that wasn't important. The fact that John Harbaugh got to speak one-on-one for 2 hours, according to the insiders, with Jaxson Dart, obviously played a role in him taking the job. Feel good for you.
Yes.
I feel good for all the diehard Giant fans who know what it's like now to be a Jet fan, sadly, who are flying planes over the building, asking John Maurer to sell the team, asking John Maurer to fire everybody because the Giants had become the laughingstock of the NFL along with my beloved Jets. But today's not about the Jets. Today should be a celebration for Giant fans that even if you don't win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, and odds are obviously against you winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, you want to be a team that when you wake up on Labor Day weekend, you know you have a legitimate opportunity to be in the playoffs. At that point, you roll the dice. And while the Giants might not be a playoff team next year, they certainly have a guy in control now that makes the playoffs a lot more often than he missed the playoffs in Baltimore. And yes, he's had one of the great quarterbacks in football with Lamar Jackson. And yes, he won a Super Bowl with Joe freaking Flacco. Today's the day to celebrate. But today is also the day to be real and to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
So I will ask you a question. I will make a statement.
I'm going to be very honest.
I'll make a statement.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Got it?
Statement first.
Question.
Question second.
The statement is this. John Harbaugh is now the best coach in the NFC East.
I believe that.
You agree with that statement?
Yes.
You have Dan Quinn in Washington.
Much better than Dan Quinn.
Much better. Nick Sirianni does have a Super Bowl championship.
Yep.
But I think we all agree John Harbaugh, if he was the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, you might have more.
If both coaches were available today, almost every organization in football would pick John Harbaugh.
And Schottenheimer in Dallas.
Not
so we agree.
Yep.
So that's my statement.
The best coach in the NFC.
I don't think that's up for debate.
Established.
I think you have the best coach in the NFC
Without
East,
question.
okay?
Without question.
Here's my question for you. I have my own answer.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you first because I'm a very gracious guy. All right?
Okay.
Which team in the NFC East, if we agree that health is good for everybody, okay? Which team in the NFC East has the worst quarterback? Now, let's just go through the names.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott in Dallas. All right? You've got Jaden Daniels in Washington. You've got Jalen Hurts in Philly. And you have Jaxson Dart here. Which team in the NFC East has the worst quarterback?
It's incomplete.
I'm sorry?
It's incomplete because it's 1 year.
No, what's the answer?
Well, listen, right now the most unproven quarterback in the NFC East is Jaxson Dart.
I'm sorry?
The most unproven.
And is it a quarterback league?
It certainly is.
And
that's why we're all excited today, Craig, because they've got the coach and they've got the quarterback.
No,
yes, they do. No, they have the coach and the quarterback.
Here's the reality.
And that's why the coach picked the New York Giants, as you just stated.
But you have...
So go ask John Harbaugh how he feels about the quarterback.
Okay.
You can sit here and play the game, and I agree with you.
Okay.
Sure. Dak Prescott is one of the more consistent
Dak Prescott had another great
in the NFL.
statistical season.
Right. We can talk about his problems in the playoffs all we want. The fact of the matter is the dude throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns every single year.
Yep.
He is a legitimately top of the league quarterback in the NFL. Right. We've seen 1 year of Jaden Daniels healthy. He took a fledgling franchise to the NFC Championship.
Pretty good.
Game, had one of the more incredible rookie seasons
That's right.
we have ever seen.
Correct.
Right? And
Jalen Hurts, 2 Super Bowls, and a Super Bowl championship and MVP.
Correct.
All right? So you have the worst quarterback in the NFC East. Let me go to the next stage, okay? Here's the next question.
Yeah.
Which team in the NFC East has the worst wide receiving core? I
mean,
I'm sorry.
Right now they only have, yeah, but they don't start playing football tomorrow.
I'm just asking the.
Yeah, but they don't start playing football
I think we have to be honest with each other.
Yeah.
I think you should celebrate today.
Yeah.
Because you have the best coach in the NFC East.
It doesn't sound like you want to celebrate.
I do want to celebrate.
No, it sounds like you want to cap the celebration.
No, I'm just saying.
You don't want to rain on the parade, but you want to cap it.
You're not winning the Super Bowl next year.
No one's saying they're winning the Super Bowl, but this is now as set up as the organization has been forever.
Okay.
And they have as good. I believe Malik Neighbors has an opportunity to be the best wide receiver in the
assuming he
division.
comes back from what was apparently a much more devastating injury. I'm with you on that.
Correct.
All right, let's go to the next one, okay?
Yeah.
What was one of the biggest complaints in Baltimore about the Baltimore Ravens offense? I'll answer the question for you. That Todd Monken didn't know what the hell he was doing. That Todd Monken kept Derrick Henry on the sideline in big games down the stretch and sat him out for fourth quarters in one-score games.
Yeah.
You want Todd Monken to be your offensive coordinator. He had a great run at Georgia, obviously.
Yeah.
And I will say this. Lamar Jackson had an MVP season with Todd Monken as offensive coordinator. Do you like that hire?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you've got a great head coach, best head coach. I think we all agree. Best head coach in the East. Todd Monken's probably the best offensive coordinator now in the East.
Right.
I want to give you that.
Yeah.
You've got the worst quarterback in the East and the worst wide receiving core in the East.
Mm-hmm.
So let's celebrate getting the coach, but let's also temper our expectations with what the Giants are going to do this year.
You see,
I'm just being real.
No,
I'm being honest and real with the audience.
No.
I'm not being a hater.
I don't think
I'm not being a bad guy. This has nothing to do with my Jet fandom. I think you people need to keep it real. And while everyone's rightfully so celebrating the hiring of John Harbaugh, we also have to take a mini step back and recognize you're still the worst team in the NFC East. Not the third best team. I disagree with that. Not the second best team.
I disagree with that.
Not the best team.
Yeah, I disagree
The
with
worst team. You're going to say Washington's worst.
Yes.
Okay, but
I'm going to say Dallas is
But
worse.
you trade Jaxson Dart for Jaden Daniels right now. Thank you.
I don't know if I would.
Of course you would.
That extra year of control, he's coming off an injury.
It's not baseball. Forget about control. All right, that's so silly.
That's extra year of control.
I do have something good for you, though.
Yeah, well,
and I'm going to make you an offer.
I've got plenty good.
I got more good for you.
I've got plenty good.
I got more good for you. All right? I've got this all planned out.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to be in the building, I will make a phone call and ask on your behalf. Because John Harbaugh has not yet been introduced, obviously, to New York. I've been told that a press conference will be next week, not tomorrow, okay? And that's all well and good. Who cares when the press conference is? But John Harbaugh needs to be seen by the New York sports fan and applauded for deciding of all the teams he could have gone to coming to New York. Well, it just so happens, my friend, that Saturday at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, the New York Knickerbockers are home. Would that not be a great moment in New York sports history for them to introduce the new head coach of the New York Giants, Jonathan Anthony Aloysius Harbaugh?
That would be a great
That'd be pretty awesome,
that
right?
Would be awesome.
That's my prediction.
The standing ovation that he would get.
Garden would go off its chain on that. So anyhow, we'll get all your calls.
Yes.
Giant fans, you should be very, very pumped up.
We should be very happy.
Yes.
I feel like
I'm happy for you.
Yes, let's be happy. Because whatever you have to say about the quarterback situation, this team is now set up.
Yeah.
Right? They have the coach, they have the quarterback. And not only that, like he canceled the meetings we all assumed yesterday he was going to take.
Yeah.
Like this job is enough where he didn't talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a Giant. That's where this team is right now. As we have been going through the abyss of the last 10 years, like they were set up enough.
Yep.
And Joe Shane and the rest of this organization, they were set up enough that he chose them. Obviously, he's getting paid $20 million a year. I'm not saying he's doing it for free.
That's right.
But he chose this setup. And he did, and he was going to talk to Tennessee. He was going to talk to Atlanta. He said, "No, thank you. I'm going to go eat some Greek food, and I'm going to go establish myself as the next head coach of the New York Giants." They are done being the laughingstock, and we'll see. Right?
I agree.
Monken, did you see the progression that Lamar Jackson made under this offensive coordinator? Did you see how he?
You mean the 1-5 start?
What's that?
The 1-5 start in Baltimore this past year, not making the playoffs this past year, losing the division out to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He was injured.
That progression.
He was injured.
I'm just asking what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Monken.
I'm just trying to be a good guy.
Monken working with Lamar Jackson and creating an MVP.
No, I know. I mean, Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs, one with Todd, one without Todd. Yeah, and I think Todd Monken's a good offensive
Last
coordinator.
year should have won another one. It was the
I
best
agree.
year of his career.
Josh Allen got the MVP, didn't deserve it, much
right.
like when Embiid got it over Jokic because they wanted to give it to somebody else. I'm with you.
This quarterback is about to flourish.
Well, we're going to find out.
We are about to flourish.
We're going to find out.
And the Giants are going to be a playoff team this coming season.
Oh, stop.
They are.
See, that's the problem.
They're
That's when
going
you
to
get
be a
carried
playoff
away.
team. They are the second best team in the division.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to find out for sure.
We are going to find out.
But you already acknowledged you have the worst wide receiving core in the division
The season
and the
doesn't
worst
start
quarterback
tomorrow.
in the division.
The season doesn't start
And
tomorrow.
I'm not saying when I say the worst quarterback doesn't mean he's not good. Like if you have four supermodels standing next to each other, none of them are ugly.
Right.
So I want to be clear about that.
It happens to be a loaded division with a lot of good quarterbacks.
And I know I'm going to get attacked for this. Oh, it's a clickbait. It's not clickbait.
I get you.
Everything I said is accurate, factual, and honest.
And fair.
You now have the best coach in the NFC East. We should celebrate that. I'm glad we're celebrating that. WFAN today has been like a cheerleading squad for across the board. That's all I've heard. It's the greatest thing of all time. Great. Celebrate it. But let's also take one little mini step of honesty back and acknowledge what I said. You have the best coach in the division. Yes, check that box. Congratulations on that. I have no idea what that's like. But there's a couple other boxes you have to be concerned with. And that is right now, today, you would trade your quarterback for every other quarterback in this division.
That's not true.
You would trade your wide receiving core for every other wide receiving core in the division.
I don't think that's
Don't
accurate.
even worry about the conference. I'm worried about the
You
division.
would trade wide receiving cores with Washington.
100%
with
right
Washington.
now. 100%.
Why?
Because Scary Terry is one of the best wide receivers in all football.
Who else is there?
And Deebo Samuel, now there's another year removed from the injury.
Washed up.
It's going to be fantastic.
Washed up.
I would take Scary Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel over, what do you have?
Malik Neighbors and whoever
Malik
they go
Neighbors.
out, maybe draft with the fifth pick.
So you don't have another wide receiver.
Not right now, but the season doesn't start today, does it? No, it doesn't.
And let me say this. I want to apologize to Giants fans because a lot of you right now are cursing at me at the radio. And I can feel that. I can hear that.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything less from you. All right? But someone on this radio station has to be honest with the audience. And that's my lot in life. So I want to be very clear. I appreciate the joy that you people have today. I do not want to rob you of that joy. I truly don't. I'm not trying to be a jackass. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I'm not doing this for clicks. Matter of fact, I don't care if you post a single video from today's show online, and we're the most watched show on this radio station on social media. You could take the day off if you want to, just so I can prove my point. But I'm not going to lie to you people because you're good people. And I'm not going to be the guy on the radio that lies to you. You have the best coach, the worst quarterback, the worst wide receiving tandem as well. And I can make the argument you might have the worst running game too. But I didn't want to really throw everything on you at once and really rain on your parade because I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been accurate. But here's the point. Here's my point, and then we can go to break and move on.
No breaks.
Okay.
Breaks.
Well, whatever the case. Next to our calls. Next, and we can start taking calls from Giant fans who hate you right now.
I know, but let me just say one other thing.
Yeah.
I want to make very clear. Today's show is not about me. Today's show is about the Giants getting John Harbaugh. So if you want to yell at me, that's fine. But don't call in just to yell at me.
I think,
please.
but I think the expectations are limited. Like I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're that kind of team. I think that's what he does in the new NFL. I think there's a very good chance they could be one of the top 7 teams in the conference. I firmly believe that. But of course, there are going to be growing pains. He's not a magic man.
Right.
He's not going to come here and transform them back to the 86 Giants, the 91 Giants, the 07-11 Giants. Like all it is unfortunately, as we've been talking about all week, it has been the worst decade of Giants football since the 1970s. And for most of us listening, that's our lifetime.
Yes.
I've never seen the Giants this bad, ever. So the idea that they have now hired a man that we know will do one thing, bring stability and bring a level of play to this football team where we know come December next year, I'm not rooting for losses. I'm not talking about whether or not the Giants should lose for draft picks. We are talking about a team that has a coach, that has a quarterback, that is trending in the right direction, that next year is going to be better than last. The year after that is probably going to be better than the year before it. Like, that's the direction this football team now takes. And that is so far and away different than what we've had over the last 10 years that it's cause for celebration. And I don't think anyone's saying they're going to be Super Bowl champions or that they're better than this one or they're suddenly better than the Eagles. But there's a level of expectation now with the Giants that we haven't had in forever. And
I want you to enjoy that. I
Thank
want you
you.
to embrace that.
Thank you.
Now, here's the question.
Yes.
Were you awake when it happened
Yes.
last night? You were.
I was.
So about 1:15 in the morning, when I saw Jordan Schultz put it out
yes.
there and a couple other guys, you were wide awake when that happened?
It became more
What was that
solidified.
moment like for you?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
It was fantastic.
Was your family awake?
No, everyone was sleeping.
So here's
which is also the best.
I want to find. So you get the news.
Yeah.
It was just after 1 o'clock in the morning that John Harbaugh cancels the Titans' visit to his home, and he's going to sign the deal once they figure out a couple more language things and whatever the final numbers are. He's the Giants' head coach. If nobody in the house is awake, how do you celebrate that? Like air fisting, like pumping like Jersey Shore style?
Yeah.
Like what did Chris McMonigle do? The audience is going to want to know.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate in the moment?
Yeah.
Did you go grab like a shot of Hennessy? Did you get some ice cream? Did you jump up and down in your Giants onesie? What'd you do?
Yeah. No, I hopped up from the couch. And
Up on the couch?
I was like sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
I read it. I hopped up and I gave one of the Aaron Rodgers.
You gave it Aaron Rodgers? Oh, you did the fist.
I did like the Tiger Woods on a
fist.
Sunday. Yeah. That's my
fist.
move. When I'm really excited, I'm like, yeah. I give the uppercut
Yeah,
fist.
I like that.
So I jumped up in the air and gave the uppercut.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then I went back on the couch. I think I tweeted out Giants are back. And then I went
Were
to
you
sleep.
able to fall asleep last night? Or was your mind racing with the possibilities?
Unfortunately, I was thinking of you. Which made it more difficult.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was having the
How's it going to ruin this tomorrow?
I was having the question of our debate about, is this a couch night? So I was like, should I go to bed just to make sure he's not right? Or should I stay on the couch and because I'm waiting for news? Because it still hasn't, as far as I know, hasn't been like 100% pen to paper.
Right.
So I was still waiting for that. And now we're more obviously it's not going to change. But at 1 o'clock in the morning, I was still kind of
refreshing,
excited. I'm
refreshing.
refreshing. I want to see that the deal is done. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, is Craig going to be right about this stupid freaking couch night, or should I just go to bed so that I don't have to wake up knowing that this guy was right?
We got a great show for you today. 888-808-1009. All your calls. They should be a celebration. Don't let me rain on your parade or be a wet blanket.
Well, to be fair, nothing you said is out of bounds. It's just not. We don't want to hear it today.
I know,
but it's not. Nothing you said is crazy.
He's not factually accurate.
I think he has a really good chance to prove you wrong by the end of next season. But as we currently sit, how could you argue he's not the worst? He is the most unproven and worst, if you want to use the term worst, he's the worst quarterback.
As a guy that gets paid to talk about New York sports, our job is much more fun and easier when the local teams are good. So I'm a Jet fan. I don't have any issue at all with the Giants being good. I wish we had playoff football this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the Jets or Giants. Obviously, I prefer the Jets. But, man, we finally have a coach that at least represents some level of competency.
No.
So when we get to Labor Day, we can at least dream the impossible dream. Why not?
And maybe
I can't.
No, I'm with you. And I'll tell you the truth. I think most football fans should feel that way. I've always said this about football. Now, maybe this is the sports guy in me, and I can't separate the guy who has to watch all these games from the normal, quote unquote, normal guy. But for me, if the shoe was on the other foot and the Jets had the quarterback and the coach, I got to be honest with you. Football Sunday is a different animal to me than any other sport. And I watch the Jets every week anyway. And I have my whole life. I watch the Giants. I watch the Jets. So the idea that the Jets have been this miserable, I would be somewhat excited. I would still be jealous, right? There's going to be a lot of Jet fans who are jealous, and it's never us. It's always somebody else. Now, whether it's the Dolphins or the Patriots, now it's the Giants, the Bills. It's always someone else. It's always our competitor who does it, and we never do it. I get that. But at the same time, you watch the Giants every week. We watch football every week.
Which here's selfishly for me.
We play every 4 years. It's not this big,
I would say
rivalry.
I think John Harbaugh becoming the Giants head coach is going to change the NFL schedule making as well. I think the last couple of years we've had 6 or 7 weeks where they both played the same exact time. I think now John Harbaugh being the Giants head coach makes the Giants a much more of a primetime feature team, a 4 o'clock feature team, and maybe we'll get lucky this year and only have 1 or 2 games where they're both playing at 1 o'clock because the Giants are the team people want to see because John Harbaugh is on the sideline. So, look, we got lots to go over. Lots of fans want to comment on it. We'll take all your calls. Obviously, a big focus today is going to be on that. I do have an update for you Met fans, though, on Kyle Tucker. All right? I have a legitimate update on Kyle Tucker coming up later today.
Yeah. I mean, this could be one hell of a day. We kind of expect news on that today.
I will tell you that I would not be surprised if by the time I walk out of this building at 6:05, if Kyle Tucker's not a Met by then.
Not a Met specifically, not just not signed.
I believe
not a Met.
I believe that is, well, we get into more in depth later, but I believe that Kyle Tucker will be a Met by 6 p.m. today.
Wow.
How about that?
That would be someday.
4-year deal. opt out after 2, opt out after 3. 4-year deal.
Look at that.
I believe that will happen by 6 o'clock today. Okay?
This is going to be someday.
There's only one possible monkey wrench in that plan, and that monkey wrench are the Toronto Blue Jays doing something stupid.
No.
Outside of that, I believe the New York Mets have Kyle Tucker locked up.
This should be a day we all get behind. Every Yankee fan should be looking for the Mets to sign Kyle Tucker.
Is that right?
Every Yankee fan should be. Get out of your own way.
So we get Bellinger back?
So he's not with the Blue Jays. I don't want Kyle Tucker on the Blue Jays.
Yeah, you're right.
They just went to the World Series and kicked the crap out of the Yankees. Let him go to the Mets.
Okay.
And every Jet fan should be excited for the Giants because, hey, at least you get to watch some good football every Sunday. Everybody's on board.
All your calls
What a great
coming up.
day.
It's the Carton Show with